Hello friends, my name is Mayanka. I am accounts and a finance trainer from UPlex. Today we will cover the topic of accounting for partnership. In this topic, we will cover the some relevant points which are relating to the partnership. We will discuss all the basic points of partnership. What is the partnership? What is the partnership deed? And what are the content of partnership deed and some other relevant points. So now we will start our video. Accounting for partnership basic concept part 1. We will cover this topic in two parts, part 1 and part 2. Now we will start part 1 of this topic. Introduction. First, we will discuss the introduction of such topic. Means we will discuss what is the partnership. What is the partnership? Accounting for the partnership firm has its own particulars. As the partnership firm comes into existence when two or more persons come together to establish business and share its profit. Is that the partnership firm is an organization or it is an establishment. It is a establishment which is comes into existence, comes into existence when two or more partners, when two or more persons, when two and more persons come together to establish a business. To establish a business means to perform the business activity and share the amount of profits. For the example, when there are two persons and they decided to work together and they will earn the amount of profit, and such profit will be divided between them in the particular ratio. So the such such agreement which is made between them is to be known as partnership. Is that when two and more persons come together to establish any business and to share its profit, then it is to be known as partnership. On many issues affecting distribution of profit, there may not be any specific of agreement between the partners. In such a situation, the provisions of Indian Partnership Act apply. Normally, when two and more person create a partnership, then there is no agreement. So, due to the no agreement, there are some confliction or some issues in the respect of distribution of partnership, distribution of profit. When there is no agreement between the partner, then there are some conflicts in the respect of distribution of profit. Means in which ratio such amount of profit will be distributed between the partners without any agreement. So, when the agreement is not available, or to remove this type of issues or to remove the conflict, the provision of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 will be applicable. The provision of Indian Partnership Act 1932 will be applicable on the partnership firm. Similarly, the calculation of interest on drawings, and maintenance of partner capital account has their own particularities. Not only that, a variety of adjustments are required on the death of partner or when a new partner is admitted and so on. These particulars, these particulars situation need specific treatment in the accounting that need to be certified. That need to be means in the case of partnership firm, there are the many situations, there are the many issues in the respect of which there is the requirement to some specific accounting treatment. For the example, when there is any new partner who entered into the business, into the partnership business, so in this respect, he will come and he will introduce its capital, and there are many other adjustments which are required to be made in the respect of admission of partner. And when any partner retire from the partnership firm, when any partner retire from the partnership firm, then there is also requirement some specific transaction, or there are also requirements some specific treatment, some specific transaction. So for the purpose of this, there is a requirement to understand the accounting for the partnership. Means in the case of business, if there is a partnership business and the person want to perform partnership activities, so in this case, for the accounting purpose or for the each and every transaction, the knowledge of accounting for the partnership is important, because in the case of partnership there are some transaction, or there are the many other transactions for which some specific treatment of accounting is required. So we will discuss, in this class, we will discuss of accounting for the partnership. We will cover this topic in two parts. In this part, we will cover the all the basic and important concept, and in the two parts, in the second part, we will discuss all the accounting treatment of all the relevant and the important points. So now we will discuss nature of partnership. What is the nature? What is the nature of partnership? When two or more persons, when two and the more person join hands to set up a business and share its profit and loss, they may be said to be a partnership. Is that when two and the more person decided to perform the business activities, and share the amount of profit, then such such status is to be known as partnership. For the example, when two and a more person entered into a business, they will manufacture, the cloth, and they will sell. And the amount of profit which will be earned from this business activity will be divided by them, in the particular ratios. So such so these activities are to be known as partnership. Section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 define the partnership. Section 4 of 1932 explain what is the partnership. Partnership is a relationship between the person who have agreed to share the profit of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. The Indian Partnership Act 1932 explained the definition of partnership. According to the section 4, partnership means relationship, or the relation between two and the more person. Is that when there is a relation between who have agrees, the person who have agreed to share the amount of profit, the profit which is arise from the carried out of business. Is that when two and the more person entered into a business, and they share the amount of profit which is arise from business activities, then it is to be known as partnership. The person who entered into the partnership, with one another are individually called partner. Is that the person who entered into the partnership for perform the business activities and for share the amount of profit, then such person individually known as partner, and collectively known as firm. Means means these individual partner will be known as partners. These individual person will be known as partner, and the the status of such activity, means creation of partnership, is to be known as firm. The number under which the business is carried is called firm's name. The name under which they perform the business activities, it is to be known as partnership firm. A partnership firm has a separate legal entity apart from the partner constituting it. The partnership firm is a separate legal entity, means is it is separate from the partner. The partnership firm is a separate legal entity. It is separate from its partner. There is no relationship between partner and between partnership firm. There is only some business activities which are performed by the partner in this business, and there is no any other relationship between the partner and between the partnership firm. So the person who performed the business activity and who entered into the partnership is to be known as partners. The status of the partnership firm, the status of the partnership is to be known as partnership firm, and the name in which they perform the activity is to be known as partnership name, partnership firm name. So this is the definition. This is the definition of partnership as per Indian Partnership Act 1932. Now we will discuss the essential features. Now we will discuss the essential features of partnership. What are the essential features? What are the important features of the partnership? Means what are the important point, or what are the important features of a partnership? Number one, two and more person. In the case of partnership, there should be two or the more person. Means for the partnership there should be at least two person who can create the partnership, between them, and can perform the business activity. Because if there is only a single person, then there will no any partnership. So in the case of partnership, there should be two or more person. Is that in the case of partnership, the partner should be two or more. Number two, agreement. In the case of partnership, there should be an agreement which will contain all the terms and conditions in the respect of partnership. It will contain the information about profit sharing ratio, interest on capital, interest on drawings, expenses, and all other informations. Business. The partnership is created by the partners for carrying out the business. Is that in the case of partnership, there should be business, because when two and more person entered into an agreement to perform the business activity and to share the amount of profit which is arise from such business activity, then it is to be known as partnership. If there is no business, then how they can create a partnership? Mutual agency. There should be a mutual agency, means there should be the mutual consent in the respect of performance of business activities. Sharing of profit. There should be the sharing of profit. If there is no detail or no topic in the respect of sharing of profit in the agreement, then we can consider, or it is implied that the profit sharing ratio will be equal. Means if two partners, then they will divide the amount of profit half and half. Liability of the partner. In the case of partnership firm, the partners of the such firm will be liable for all the business activities. So these all are the some important and essential features of the partnership. Now we will discuss all these features in the detailed form so that you can understand. These features are the important feature in the case of partnership. Now, number one is two and more partners. In order to form the partnership, there should be at least two persons coming together for the common goal. When two and more person perform the business activity with the same intention, or for the same goal, so then it is to be known as partnership. In other words, the minimum number of the partnership in a firm can be two. In a firm, there should be at least two partners. There is, however, a limit. In the case of minimum, there is two partners and there is also a maximum limit. There is also a maximum limit. By the virtue of Section 464 of the Companies Act 2013, the central government is empowered to prescribe maximum number of partners in a firm. But the number of partners cannot be more than 100. Section 464 of the Companies Act 2013 explained that the central government has the power to maximize the number of partners in the case of partnership firm. But, the number of the partners in the partnership firm cannot be more than 100. Is that it should be at least 2, but it should not be more than 100. The central government has prescribed the maximum partners of the firm, the maximum partners of the partnership firm to be 50. Means the current limit it is 50. Means in the case of partnership firm, there should be at least 2 members or the maximum limit of the member of 50. Means in the case of partnership firm, there should not be more than 50 members to perform the business activities. So this is the one important point. Number one, the minimum partners, 2, and the maximum partner 50. Or it may be increased till 100, but it should not be more than 100. As per the Companies Act 2013, the central government has the power to decide the or to prescribe the maximum number of partners in the partnership firm. Number 2, agreement. Partnership is the result of an agreement which is made between two and the more partners to do the business and to share the amount of profit and loss. In the case of partnership, when two and the more members entered for perform the business activity, then an agreement is made between them. Such agreement will contain all the important points. It contains all the important points which are required to be mandatory or which are required to be important for the performing business activities and for sharing the profit. The agreement become the basic of relationship between the partner. It is the basic. It is the basis of the relationship only. It is not necessary that it should be in written form. It is not necessary that the agreement should only be written form. It may be in verbal form. A oral agreement is equal valid. But in order to avoid dispute, it is a but if we want to avoid all the dispute, then it should be in the written form. Because when it is in the written form, then there will not be any dispute about the any of the point. Because when all the points are properly mentioned in the agreement, then there will not be any type of dispute. So in the case of partnership, the agreement is also mandatory, and it is and for remove all the doubt, it should be in the written form. Business, in the case of business, in the case of partnership, the business is also very important. The agreement should be carried on some business. Mere co-ownership is not a property, does not the amount of partnership. Is that only the agreement which is made between two and the more partners is not to be considered as partnership. There should be a business. There should be a business, and all the partners should contain the same goal in the respect of these business activities. Is that the partnership is required to be made for the performance of business activities. If the partner want to enter into the agreement of a partnership, there should be a business. If there is a business, then they will create partnership, and the profit or the loss which is arise from such business activity, they will distribute between them. Mutual agency. What is the mutual agency? In the case of partnership, the mutual agency is also very much important. The business of the partnership concern may be carried on by all the partners or any of them acting for all. In the case of partnership firm, there are different type of partners, just like active partner, sleeping partner. There may be some sleeping partner who does not perform any activities, and there are the active partner who perform all these activities. So in the case of partnership, the partners perform the activities, whether sleeping partner or whether the active partner. Means if there is any partner who is performing the business activity, then he is perform the business activity for the firm as a whole, not for the particular. So the business of the partnership concern may be carried on by all the partners or by any of them, for all. This statement has two importance. Number one, first, every partner is entitled to participate in the conduct of the affairs of business. Is that in the case of partnership, each and the every partner is entitled to perform the business activity. Second, that there exists a relationship of the mutual agency. In the case of partnership, there should be a relationship between all the partners of mutual agency. In the case of the partnership, there should be a relationship of mutual agency between all the partners. Means they perform all the business activities and all the other transaction in the partnership mutually. So in the case of partnership, the mutual agency will also be very much important. Sharing of profit. Another important element of the partnership is sharing of agreement. In the case when the agreement is prepared by the partners, then there are some point are mentioned in this partnership agreement, which is also contain the ratio of profit sharing. Is that the agreement which is made between the partner must be contain the point of share the profit and share the amount of loss of the business. So this is also a very important part, a very important point of the partnership, sharing of profit. The last is liability of the partner. The last feature of the partnership is liability of the partners. Each partner is liable. In the case of partnership, each partner is liable jointly as well as severally. In the case of partnership firm, each partner is liable for the liability jointly as well as severally to third party for all the act of the firm which is done while he is a partner. In the case of partnership firm, each and every partner is liable for the third party jointly or separately. Not only that, the liability of the partner for act of the firm is also unlimited. This is implied that his private assets can be used for paying off the firm's debts. Is that in the case of partnership, the liability of the partners are unlimited. The liabilities of the partners are unlimited. Is that not only the business assets can be used, but also his private assets can also be used for the payment of debt. For the paying of the debt or for the payment of debt, the private assets or the his personal assets can also be used for the purpose of paying off of debt. Because in the case of partnership, the liability of the partner is unlimited and the partner mutually as well as severally liable to pay the amount of debt. So this is the another important point of the partnership, liability of partners. So on the basis of these point discussion, we have discussed the some important feature of the partnership. Now we will discuss partnership deed. What is the meaning of partnership deed and what is the importance? Means what point is contained by such partnership. Now partnership deed. Now we will discuss partnership deed. Partnership comes into existence as a result of agreement which is made between two and the more partners. Is that the partnership comes into existence when the partnership agreement is made between two and the more partners to perform the business activities with the common goal. The agreement can either be oral The partnership agreement can be oral or it may be in written. The Partnership Act does not require that the agreement must be in writing. According to the Partnership Act, there is no any condition that the partnership agreement should be. The partnership agreement must be in writing. It may be orally, it may be oral. Means the Partnership Act does not contain a provision that it should be or it must be in writing. It may be oral. But whenever it is in writing, whenever it is in writing, then a partnership agreement is a document which is contain all the terms and conditions. Then, then when it is in writing, then such agreement is to be known as partnership deed. When it is in writing, then it is to be known as partnership deed. It generally contains the details about all the aspects affecting the relationship between the partner, including the object of business. Such a partnership deed contain all the relevant point. It is contain all the relevant point and all other important point, just like objective of business, contribution of profit by the each partner, ratio in which the amount of profit and loss will be shared or will be distributed between the partners, and entitlement of interest on capital, entitlement of interest on drawings, interest on loan, etc. So the partnership deed contain the all the relevant point which is discussed, between all the partners at the time of partnership. So it is one of the important instrument. If it is in written form, then it will be considered as partnership deed, and it is contain all the important and the relevant points which are important for the partnership. The clause of partnership deed can be altered with the consent of all the partners. If in the case of partnership, any of the clause of the partnership deed is want to be updated or want to be altered, then it can be altered or it can be updated with the consent of all the partners. The deed should be properly drafted and it should be prepared. It should be prepared on the basis of relevant provision. Means according to the Indian Partnership Act, the partnership deed is to be prepared on the stamp paper and it should be properly registered with the registrar of firm. The partnership deed is to be prepared in a draft form and it should be prepared according to the Indian Partnership Act, and it should be properly stamped. It should be on stamp paper. It should be on the stamp paper and it should be properly attested or properly registered with the registrar of firm. So this is the point in which we have discussed what is the partnership deed. The agreement, when it is in written form, then it will be considered as partnership deed, and it is contain all the relevant points, just like objective of business, profit sharing ratio between the partner, interest on capital, interest on drawings, interest and loans, and the capital which is contributed by the partner. It is contain many other relevant points which all are important for performing the business activities. So on the basis of this, we have discussed what is partnership deed. Now we will discuss provisions of Partnership Act relevant for the accounting. Now we will discuss some provisions of partnership which are relevant for the accounting purpose. The important provision affecting the partnership account are as follows. Now we will discuss some relevant provisions. Number one is profit sharing ratio. Profit sharing ratio. If the partnership deed is silent, if the partnership deed is silent about the profit sharing ratio, then the profit and loss of the firm are to be shared equally by the partner, irrespective of their capital contribution in the firm. Instead, In the case of partnership firm, if the partnership deed does not contain the provision in the respect of profit sharing ratio, is that it does not contain the ratio of the contribution or sorry the ratio of distribution of profit or loss, then it is implied that then in this case it is implied that the profit will be shared between the partner equally. Means the amount of the profit or the loss will be shared between the partner equally if the partnership deed is signed, irrespective of their capital contribution. Interest on capital. Interest on capital. No partner is entitled to claim any interest on the amount of capital which is contributed by them in the firm. Is that in the case of partnership firm, no partner or any of the partner will not be entitled to claim or to take the amount of interest on the amount of capital which is introduced by them. However, interest can be allowed when it is expressly mentioned in the deed or it is when it is decided or it is agreed by all the partners. Is that normally no partner, any of the partner will not be eligible for the interest on capital which is introduced by him. But if it is decided by all the partners or it is properly expressed in the deed, then the clause of interest on capital will be arise. But if the partnership deed is silent, then there will not be any amount of interest on capital. Then there will not be any amount of interest on capital. Is that no interest on capital is payable if the partnership deed is silent. But if it contains any provision, then it is applicable on the partnership on the interest on capital. Otherwise, no partner will be eligible for the interest on capital. Interest on drawings. No interest is to be charged on the drawings which is made by the partner if it is not mentioned in the deed. In the respect of interest on drawings, if the partnership deed is silent, it does not contain any if it does not contain any rate of interest on the drawings, then no one then any of the partner will not be paid or will not be calculate any amount of interest on the drawings. If the deed is silent, there is no any clause or there is no any question of interest on deed. So no interest is to be charged on the drawings which is made by the partner if a partnership deed is silent. Interest on loan. Interest on loan. In the case of partnership firm, there are the many partners who advance loan to the firm for the purpose of business activities. Then in this case, he or she shall be entitled to get the amount of interest on such loan at the rate of 6%. Is that there is a rate of interest on loan is 6%. So, for the example, Mr. Ram and Shyam entered into a partnership and Mr. Ram introduced capital as well as some amount of loan for the business activity. Then he will be eligible or he will be entitled to get the amount of interest on such loan and the rate will be 6% per annum. Remuneration for firm's business. No partner is entitled to get salary. No partner of the partnership firm will be entitled to get the amount of salary or any other remuneration for taking part in the conduct of business firm unless there is a provision for the same in the partnership firm. Is that in the case of partnership business or in the case of partnership firm, no partner shall be liable or he will not be eligible to take the amount as salary or remuneration. If there is any clause in the partnership deed, then he may be then it may be applied. But normally in the case of partnership, no partner will be entitled to get the amount of salary and the amount of remuneration. So these all are the provision, some important provision for the accounting purpose. For the accounting purpose. Apart from the above, the Indian Partnership Act specifies that subject to the contract between the partners. There are some other points which are specified by the Indian Partnership Act. If the partner derives any profit from him oblique herself from any transaction of the firm or from the use of property of the business connection to the firm or the firm's name, then he oblique she shall account for the profit and pay it to the firm. Is that as per the Indian Partnership Act, it specifies that if there is any partner who earn the amount of profit, who earn the amount of and the amount of profit from a transaction in which he used the assets of the property, or such transaction is related to the business of the firm, or it is performed by the firm, by the partner in the name of firm, then the amount of the profit shall be introduced or shall be paid by him to the firm. Is that such amount of profit will be considered the profit of firm, not of such particular partner. Number two, if a partner carry on any business of the same nature as and competing with that of the firm, then he or she shall account for and pay to the firm all profit which is made by him in the business. Is that in the case of the partnership, there is a partner who is performing same business activities individually, he is also performing same business activity. So in this case, the amount of the profit which is earned by such partner from such individual business will also be paid by him to the partnership business. So these are the some important and relevant points which are explained by the Indian Partnership Act. Is that if there is any profit which is earned by the partner in the name of partnership firm or by the use of assets of partnership firm, then such profit will be paid by him to the firm. It is not his personal profit. And if there is any partner who is individually performing the business activities, means same business activity for conflict the business, for same business activity, then the amount of profit which is earned from the same business activity will also be paid by such partner to the firm. This profit is not the profit of such partner, it is the profit of firm, so it will be introduced by the partner in the firm. Now we will discuss the special aspect of partnership accounts. Now we will discuss some special aspects, some special aspects of partnership accounts. Accounting treatment for the partnership firm is similar to that of sole proprietorship business. The accounting treatment is similar to the sole proprietorship business, but there are some exceptions. Means there are some exceptions in the respect of partnership firm. Number one, maintenance of partners capital account. In the case of partnership firm, there is the maintenance of partners capital account. Means in the partnership firm, there is a requirement to maintain the partners capital account individually. Distribution of profit and loss among the partners. In the case of partnership firm, the amount of the profit or the amount of the loss is distributed between the partners. Number three, adjustment for wrong appropriation of profit in past. If there is the wrong appropriation of the profit, then in the partnership firm, there is a requirement of adjustment. Is that in the past, if the amount of profit is wrongly distributed or wrongly apportioned, then there is a requirement of adjustment. reconstitution of partnership firm. In the case of when there is a new partner is entered, then there is a requirement of reconstitution. If any partner retire from the partnership firm due to the death of partner, there is a requirement of reconstitution of partnership firm. Dissolution of partnership firm. Dissolution of partnership firm means there are two partners in the partnership firm and one partner want to retire from the partnership business. Then the firm will be dissolved. And when all the partners decided not to perform the business in the partnership firm, and they want to, then all the partners want to shut down the business of partnership, then the firm will be dissolved. So these are the some important topic in the for the purpose of accounting treatment in the partnership firm. So we will discuss all this accounting treatment and all these points very deeply. So now we will discuss the first point, maintenance of capital account of a partner. Number one is maintenance of capital account of the partner. In the case of partnership firm, there is a requirement to maintain the capital account of all the partners. We will prepare all the capital account of partners separately. And all the transactions which is relating to the partners of the firm are recorded in the books of firm through their capital account. Is that in the case of partnership firm, all the transactions which is relating to the partners are recorded in the books of firm through their capital account, because the capital account contain all the relevant transactions which is relating to the partners. This include the amount of money which is brought in the business as a capital. The capital account is an account which is contain all the detail in the respect of capital introduced and the capital which is withdrawn. Profit share, interest on capital, interest on drawings, partners salary, partners remuneration, commission to the partner, etc. So the capital account contains all these relevant points: withdrawal of capital, capital introduced, interest on loan, interest on capital, interest on drawings, partners salary, partners remuneration, commission, etc. There are two methods by which the capital account of the partner can be maintained. Means we have two methods on the basis of which we can prepare the partner's capital account. Number one is fixed capital method. And number two is fluctuating capital method. We have two methods for the preparation of capital account. Number one is capital method. Number two is fluctuation capital method. First is fixed capital method. Number two is fluctuation capital method. The differences between these two methods or two lines in whether or not the transaction other than addition or withdrawal of the capital are recorded in the capital account of the partner. Now we will discuss these methods. Number one is fixed capital method. What is the fixed capital method? Under the fixed capital method, the capital of the partner shall remain fixed. In the case of fixed capital method, the capital of the partners will remain fixed unless any additional capital is introduced or a part of the capital is withdrawn as per the agreement among the partners. In the case of fixed capital method, there will not be change in the partner's capital. It will be fixed, but if there is any if during the period, if any amount of capital is introduced by the partner or if any amount is withdrawn by the partner, then it will be contain effect. Otherwise, the capital will be fixed. All items like share of profit and loss, interest on capital, interest on drawings are recorded in the separate account, which is called partner's current account. is that all other transactions which is relating to the capital or profit are to be entered into a separate account. Means there are two accounts will be prepared. Number one is fixed capital account and number two is current account, partner's current account. Fixed capital account contain only the amount of fixed capital, but to all other transaction which is relating to the drawings, relating to the interest capital, interest on capital and profit are recorded in a separate account. Means all these transactions are recorded into the partner's current account. So in the case of fixed capital method, two accounts are maintained. Next is fluctuating capital method. Fluctuating capital method. Under the fluctuating capital method, only one account will be made or one account will be prepared. Is that capital account is prepared for each of the partner, and all the adjustment which are and all the adjustment such as share of profit and loss, interest on capital, interest on drawings, salary, commission, remuneration are directly entered into the capital account of the partners. Means all these transactions are entered in the capital account. There is no any separate account. There is only a single account which is to be known as capital account. It is contain the amount of capital which is introduced, the amount of capital which is withdrawn. It is also contain profit, amount of loss, amount of interest on loans, amount of interest on capital, interest on drawings. Everything is on a single account. This makes the balance in the capital account to fluctuate from time to time basis. Is that due to these transactions, the amount of the capital of such partner will be fluctuate time to time basis, or due to the transaction, or on the basis of time to time, or on the basis of such transaction. So the fluctuating account method is a method in which only a single account prepare and the amount of the capital will be fluctuate time to time and on the basis of transaction. So this is the fluctuating capital method. Now we will discuss the differences between fluctuating and fixed capital method. Now we will discuss what are the differences between fluctuating and fixed capital method. The main point of differences between fixed and fluctuating capital method are as follows. Number one is nature of account. Number one is nature of account. Under the fixed capital method, there are two accounts are required to be made for each of the partner. Means under this method, two separate accounts are maintained for each partner, capital account and number second is current account. But in the case of fluctuating capital method, only one account, is that only a capital account will be prepared. No current account is required to be made. Means in the case of fixed capital method, two accounts will be prepared, and in the case of fluctuating capital, only single account will be prepared. Item related to the deeds. In the case of fixed capital method, drawings, salary, interest on capital, interest on drawings, and all other transaction other than capital will be transferred to current account, not in the capital account. In the capital account, there is only the balance, opening balance of capital, and if there is any amount which is introduced or any amount which is withdrawn from the capital during the period will be considered only, and all other transactions will be considered in the current account, not in the capital account. But in the case of fluctuating, capital method, all adjustment like drawings, salary, interest on loan, interest on capital, interest on drawings are transferred in the capital account. There is only a single account and all the transactions are made in such single account. Fixed balance. In the case of fixed capital balance, the capital account balance remain unchanged. Means the capital account will be fixed. But if there is any reduction or if there is any addition of the capital during the period, it will be considered only, otherwise it will be fixed. But in the case of fluctuating, the balance of the capital account will be fluctuate from year to year basis on the basis of transaction. Credited balance. The capital account always show a credit balance. In the case of fixed capital method, the capital account always show the credit balance. And in the case of fluctuating account, sometime it may be show the debit balance. Sometime it may be show the debit balance. So these are the some important differences between the fixed capital method and fluctuating capital method. These are some important points or some important differences. So on the basis of these tasks, we have discussed a part 1 of accounting for partnership, in which we have discussed what is the partnership, what is the partnership agreement, and what is the partnership deed. Some important and relevant point for the purpose of accounting, and we have also discussed the methods and all other relevant point or accounting for the partnership will be discussed by us in the second part. So kindly consider second part also for the purpose of full understanding of this topic. Thank you so much. Okay, bye bye and have a nice day.